Welcome to Grumpy Vegan Grandad, and this is a little collaboration between myself, Cooking with Venom, who supplied the animations, the sprites as they like to call them, and a voiceover by Daryl from Defender of Animals, who consequently, with the help of myself, devised this t-shirt. Victor Echo Golf Alpha November, Defender of Animals, fighting the war against animal abuse. So you can get these. I'll put them in the links below. And yeah, get your t-shirts, get in the army. Let's fight animal abuse. But anyway, down to the video. So this is a bit of a fantasy video. What me and Cooking with Venom did was had a little chat about my idea for getting in contact with a future relative over in I think it's 2050s. I think it is 2050s. It's my great grandson I'll be talking to. So basically, this is my vision for the future. If we don't stop animal agriculture and we don't stop the effects of animal agriculture, which is, of course, global warming, if we hit that 1.5 degree rise in temperature and go over that, there's going to be a lot of things happening. Flooding, disease, food shortages. There's a lot can happen, and I just thought about what would it be like talking to someone in the future. So here's my little fantasy film about this. Now I want you to watch this, and I want you to have a little guess at which is fact and which is fiction. Okay, there's some facts in there that are reality, and some is just total fiction that have come from the figment of my imagination. So see if you can guess which is the made up shit. Shouldn't be hard, yeah? It's only me, Grumpy Vegan Grandad. But let's see. So I'm going to press this button and I'm going to talk to the future family of Grumpy Vegan Grandad. 3, 2, 1. What the fuck?
Wow.
What's happening? Where am I?
All our data has been uploaded to a cloud storage area. It's like a virtual world where we can interact. All computers use quantum mechanics now. That's how we're able to connect to the past like this. In simple terms, quantum particles leave a trail that isn't governed by time. We just can't travel. Only allow AI to create a virtual space in which it reads and converts our conversation to each other.
I see. I think. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, just about. This is weird, man.
What can you tell me about life now? You're my great grandkid, yeah? Where are you?
Yeah, I am. You are my grumpy vegan great-great-granddad. And well, your great-grandson was fearful for us all back in 2060, when I was 5 years old. The temperature tipping point was hit in 2055, but sea levels had continued to rise rapidly from 2025. Much more quickly than expected, it was nearly 8 centimetres by 2045, pushing major cities, islands and coastlines underwater. He managed to grab a rare transatlantic flight over to the US and then intended to travel north through to Canada's northernmost territories, which were now virgin land due to the permafrost melts, but Canada blocked any more travel a week before he arrived.
Wow, that's 5 years from now. So, Canada blocked movement. Why?
There was actually a 6-month skirmish between Canada and Russia, as Russia had attempted to occupy the same area by force. Then after the truce, there was a mass movement of people struggling to reach the same place from the US and the UK.
Oh my god, wow. So how far have the seas risen? Which countries or cities are affected?
They reckon it's stabilising now due to action being taken, but it peaked at 11 centimetres here in the US. That's New York behind us, by the way.
New York? My god, it's engulfed. Where else?
The Everglades National Park is gone, Florida Keys has disappeared, New Orleans, San Francisco Bay. In Canada, Hudson Bay is now the Hudson Sea. Parts of Mozambique, including the Maputo Elephant Reserve. Most of the important ecosystems, such as the coral reefs, mangroves and seagrass. Most of the planet has been affected, but major cities such as Manila in the Philippines, Shanghai, Kolkata, Mumbai, Alexandria in Egypt, Andalusia in Spain, Thessaloniki in Greece, the Italian Adriatic coast, Ho Chi Minh City, Bangkok, the fucking Bahamas went under in 2057, Panama City, Tabasco, Mexico, Bruges in Belgium along with parts of Denmark, the Netherlands, London, most of East Anglia in your country has gone under along with the vast swathes of coastline.
This is bad. Really bad.
Most of Australia is now desert. Constant fires have decimated the ecosystem and land. Most of the Middle East and equator countries are desert now with tiny pockets of civilization clinging onto life. The economy is screwed.
So how is that affecting you guys?
Well, we are not too bad. We are living in shanty towns, building with whatever we can get our hands on as housing is too expensive for us common people. There is mass starvation worldwide, but those of us who are lucky enough to have a bit of land or room for hydroponics can grow extra food, but most live on rations, which is 1,000 calories a day.
1,000 calories a day? That's malnutrition for most people, isn't it?
Well, it could have been worse, if not for the virus outbreaks which erupted from animal agriculture during 2 decades from 2030 up until 2050, which is when animal ag was outlawed in a worldwide pact, which killed over 25% of the population of the planet.
So, animal ag was finally stopped, but way too late. They waited until the damage was already done and a quarter of the world's population died before they acted. That's grim.
Yep, and it gets worse.
Worse? How, for fuck's sake?
Well, in 2060 we started seeing an ancient virus erupting from thawed permafrost in the Northern Territories in Antarctica, which killed over 3 billion people over 5 years. They reckon Australian and South Asian settlers who attempted to occupy new land emerging from under the ice sheets in Antarctica were responsible for the biggest outbreak in 2063, which was an ancient form of smallpox.
Yeah, but we eradicated smallpox with antibiotics.
Most of them could have been saved with antibiotics, but the last effective antibiotic became obsolete in 2058.
Shit, I'll be 91 by then. I'll have no chance.
Since then, something simple such as a cut can kill. Only the rich can afford the state-of-the-art medical procedures in specialist centres that are conducted in an orbiting space station they call the Skylab. We are all implanted with quantum computers that alert us to infections in the air, or ground, or on other people. The rich occupy the high ground now. They have walled communities that are heavily guarded. World leaders are all shacked up in a secure city in the Himalayas along with the world's top scientists. They are formulating plans to reverse and repair, but I don't think I'm going to see the results in my lifetime.
So what about general life? Do you have electricity, gas, mobile phones, broadband?
We have utilities, but not as you would recognise. Since water was discovered on the moon in 2020, it was finally colonised in 2029, and under a global pact they built power stations up there, which in simple terms is a giant mirror deflecting the sun's energy to receptors on Earth. They later tied in what you call broadband, which is a giant quantum master computer which feeds information to us.
Wow, sounds amazing. Elon Musk is attempting to give us internet access from orbiting satellites. He's putting them up at the moment.
Water is a big problem. The seawater's basically infiltrated the majority of the Earth's freshwater supplies. Water is heavily rationed as the seawater plants can't keep up with demand. There are a lot of wars going on too, countries constantly trying to land grab from others, criminal gangs control the black market, selling fake protein supplements and water, etc.
It sounds scary. What about the seas themselves? How are they faring up?
Well, a lot of damage has been done. Floodwater washing back into the seas has taken heavy metals, contaminants, radioactive materials, chemicals which is all manifested in the sea life. Fish are too poisonous to risk eating. Most sea mammals are extinct. In fact, a lot of mammals on land and sea have gone extinct. There are pretty much no predators as their prey are extinct. And insects rule with mass swarm incidents happening on a regular basis. On the plus side, this gives most of us a little bit more food to eat.
Oh, insects. Damn.
Whoa, what's happening?
That's the connection breaking down. There's a limit to how long the chains stay together, and once they break, they can't be reconnected. It's been cool talking to you, great-great-grandpops. Maybe we will...
So, doesn't sound very good, does it? Doesn't sound very good. But what do you think was fact and what do you think was fiction? So, fact number one, all those cities and all those areas mentioned in that video, if the sea levels rise, a lot more than 11 centimetre by the way, 11 centimetre is if Iceland's ice sheets melt and glaciers, but if the sea levels rose, those cities would actually be underwater. The second fact is diseases. They have already uncovered a 30,000-year-old disease. It wasn't harmful to humans, thank God, but they did uncover it. They also, in Russia, found a deer. I think it had been dead for like 30, 40 years. The permafrost had melted and quite a few people, including a child, died of a disease from a 30, 40-year-old disease from that dead animal. So the ice sheets, they reckon, are absolutely cram-packed with viruses, ancient viruses, thousands, multi-thousands old diseases out there, all waiting to be released. As soon as the Antarctic melts, the glaciers melt, the tundras in Siberia, when the permafrost starts melting, all these viruses will be released. The fact about antibiotics is a fact. They reckon a lot sooner than 2050. They're looking at more 2030 maybe. They could stop working. Very, very frightening fact. So, it needs to be sorted now. This is what Extinction Rebellion are fighting for, the climate change activists. This is what we're all sort of on a path to push people towards. Because it's not just us that are going to suffer if these global temperatures are hit and exceeded. It's our children, our grandchildren, our great-great-grandchildren, our planet, our animals, our seas. We're heading for a big fall, people. We're heading for a big fall. This is just a work of fiction. There's elements of fact in it. But this could well be the future that we're looking forward to for our great-grandchildren. We can do something now. And we should do something now. It's time to stop fucking about. Save the animals. Save the planet. And save your grandchildren. Go vegan. For fuck's sake.